Okay, I'm gonna hold my iPad. Hold your iPad.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, unless you want to hold something else. You want to hold my hand? We're on the clock. Keep it professional. All right, guys, welcome to our first episode of We Don't Know podcast because we haven't come up with a name yet.
That's also a good name, actually. We don't know.
We Don't Know podcast.
We don't know about guys.
My name is
Great.
Tanner. I'm your co-host, joined by my other co-host,
CK.
CK, like the letters.
Yeah.
So
Draw it on screen for you.
yeah,
There you go.
kind of what we're gonna do today is we're gonna yap. We're gonna yap for 10 minutes for the first 10 minutes, just to get warmed up, and then we'll go into some other stuff that we have on the iPad here. So how's your week?
Good. Getting back into everything after the New Year's. It's been a little difficult. I like my sleep.
I do too. I slept for 14 hours on Saturday.
Well, I did a few things and barely got any sleep, so I slept for like 50, or I slept for 5 hour nap,
Yeah.
and another 15 hours after
Yeah,
that.
your holidays weren't relaxed at all. You went to Contact. You went to a rave.
Went to a rave, and then we
That's a
did a
workout and a half.
overnight hike.
Yep, and then you had a rave on Tuesday night, and then Thursday night we were doing the Dudney grind.
Yeah, that.
That was interesting. Dudney grind was really fun though.
Mhm.
I had lots of fun.
I like the little book up there, keeping watch of everybody.
I didn't write in the log.
No.
No, I'm actually kind of sad that I didn't write in the log because I was gonna in the morning because
Yeah.
I was already on. I can't even say I was in bed.
Yeah.
I was on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point in the night, I was already like on the floor, so I couldn't write in the logbook. I wasn't intoxicated. I was sleeping on the floor without a bed mat.
Yeah.
That's just how we go.
I brought a bed mat. Actually, my little travel bag was all ready to go. I was exhausted. It was all ready to go. I didn't know it was ready to go. I had a lot more than I thought, which turned out great for me.
Yeah, and everyone was stealing your water except for me. I didn't steal your water.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I only brought 2. That was good enough for me. But
You brought 2 liters.
Mm-hmm.
I brought 600, 700 milliliters.
Yeah.
I didn't even bring a liter of water. That's why I didn't eat soup. That's why I didn't. That's why I didn't cook anything. It's because I didn't bring enough water to cook. And I know they had like the rain collection thing at the top, but I didn't want to.
That was looking gross, and I
That
didn't
was
bring my
looking-
water filter, so we
yeah.
couldn't do double filtered it for
Not
for you
taking
there.
the risks for
No.
a 12-hour hike.
No.
Not
a chance.
worth it. No, that was fun. Yeah, no, I lost 10 pounds over the holidays.
Oh really? I gained
Yeah,
weight.
I was on the upper end of 170, and then
Mhm.
we weighed ourselves yesterday, and I was almost touching 170 again. I was like, what the heck?
I was super
That was
close
scary.
to 150 before the holidays,
Mhm.
and then scaled at 155.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I ate 4 eggs for breakfast, and then I probably gained all that weight back. But yeah, no, the holidays kind of stress me out. I don't like sitting and idling. I don't know.
I got bored. I just wanted to work again.
Yeah, exactly. We had that conversation up on the hike. I was just like, I just want to go back. I just want to create stuff, and I just
Mhm.
want to get back into the rhythm of life. And it helps that the semester started again too.
Mhm.
You have your first class already?
Yeah, I got to go for my next class on Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Or no, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I start at like 10 a.m. And then I
That's
have
not too
classes
bad.
after that, which is either a 5-hour gap or a 6-hour gap, which is kind of strange.
Yeah, that's tough because you have some required courses you have to take, and you can't pick
Mhm.
your schedule yet. I have one class Monday, one class Tuesday, one class Thursday, one class Friday. I have
At least it's just
Thursdays
one
off.
class, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
nice.
I think they all start like at 2 o'clock or like 11
Mhm.
most days. So I have until like 10:30 just to get up, work out, make breakfast, get some homework done, get some emails sent off, and then go to school and then come back.
Yeah.
And I can start going to jiu-jitsu again and taekwondo and all that.
Yeah, I'll be there on Wednesdays. So
Heck yeah.
I'm done.
No taekwondo for you? No Tuesdays?
I can do Tuesdays. I can't do Thursdays.
Yeah, no kickboxing for you.
Yeah, we're gonna do some kickboxing on Tuesday
Womp.
evenings now.
Tuesday evenings, that's good.
Yeah, and then we also
Mix
got
it in.
Sunday, but that's our podcast day.
Sundays, yeah. Sunday I just kind of want to take it as a day to kind of just chill out. I don't want to
Mhm.
book much on Sundays anymore.
No, me neither.
I just want to stay home on Sundays because we do a lot of running around.
Looking at some of these classes, I'm gonna need a little more time just to prepare or just relapse for a little bit, a couple
Mhm.
hours.
For the watchers and listeners who don't know, what are you in school for?
I'm in school for marketing, doing a 2-year program for marketing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you just started that back in the fall, right?
Yeah,
And yeah,
this is my
2023.
second semester now.
It's good. You like being back at school? Because I know you took like a 4-year gap. 3, 4,
4-year gap.
4 year
Yeah,
gap. Yeah.
yeah. It was a little stressful at first, but now that I'm kind of in the rhythm, it's
You
nice.
got you got like what, 2 A's and a B?
No, all A's
Yeah, you
actually.
got straight A's your
Yeah,
first semester. And
I
you're
got 2 A pluses and an A.
get a load of this guy.
Yeah,
This guy,
I
I
was
don't like school
stressed.
straight A's. I don't. My
Hey, I'm paying for the courses. I gotta
Yeah,
make sure
that's
I do
true.
good.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's school's a little different when you pay out of pocket to go,
yeah, and
but
with that gap, I realized the value of information and the value of learning a lot more, especially going into videography and wanting to get more clients, and that this is what we're building, and the
yeah,
responsibility is on us. So I
yeah,
want to be able to take as much knowledge as I can and actually learn it and use that for what we're doing.
yeah. It kind of adds a little bit more value to the services we provide. Like instead of being just photographers, where we just you say, hey, I have come up with this entire concept. When you're, it's kind of strange. When you're just a photographer, you kind of rely on everyone else to kind of come up with the ideas and come up with stuff and say, hey, this is what I have for you. But once you get a little bit of a little bit more experience, a little bit of marketing background, someone says to you, hey, I want to run some ads, especially in our area. We have a ton of small business who do not have dedicated marketing teams and who do not have the time to sit down and be like, this is how I want to run ads. This is how I want to do a photo shoot, this, that, and the other thing. They don't have the time to do that. So they're looking to outsource to creatives and to outside marketing agencies. That's where we come in, where we have some knowledge and we're learning more about advertising and marketing and effective communication, stuff like that, where we can step into these small businesses who don't have those skills and we can fill kind of a gap in the market, per se. There's a couple companies out here that do that besides us, not a lot though. And I think that's really good. In the Fraser Valley, we have a very strong economic prosperity as of right now.
Yeah, as of right now.
As
Yeah.
of right now, like all of the cities, like Abbotsford's growing, Mission's growing, Chilliwack's booming, Langley's doing fantastic, Maple Ridge is probably doing good, even though we don't have too many clients out that way. But all these people, they either have all the businesses we work with, they have a concept of what they want to get done. They just need someone to fill out that concept and execute for them, and that's what we're here to do. So yeah, having that knowledge from UFV, from going to school, from getting a diploma in marketing to taking some courses is what puts us hopefully above everyone else.
Well, it's like going in, getting a client, and you're like, oh, I don't really know how you would want to market this. That right away should just be like a red flag for that business. Like, oh, like I'm coming to you to make sure that you're making us look as good as possible. Like, sure, you can take really good photos, but are you actually telling the story that we want to tell? Are you telling what the business shows and
Yeah.
what we do
Are
for
you
our
are you
client?
communicating the value of our business and or our product depending on what type of business they run? Like, are people going to see this marketing material we've made and understand what we're trying to talk to them about or show them about, type of thing?
Yeah, making something that looks really good, but it doesn't relate back to the business, then
Yeah.
there's no sense in it. You're not going to
Yeah.
retain the
Yeah.
clientele or
On
the
the
demographic.
small scale, that just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Obviously, that kind of breaks apart when you get into the bigger businesses like Guinness. This summer when I was in Ireland for my trip, we went to the Guinness factory and they were just playing their Guinness ads from like however many years, and
Yeah.
some of that stuff was just insane to watch. But not any of it really ties into, hey, buy Guinness. It's just like people are having fun. It's this wacky, it's this out of this world kind of commercial. It grabs your attention. It's people having fun, and then it's just like, oh, they're drinking Guinness at the same time. Like, that's kind of
That's
where
the
it
beer
is.
you bring to have a
Yeah.
good time. That's the just like
A
GoPro.
creamy fucking pint, lads. Sorry, that was for Shane. I guess the textbook company for that would be Red Bull. Red Bull, you've never seen, like, I've heard someone else talk about this on a different podcast or a different clip, but you never see a Red Bull product on their feed. It's always them doing stunts. It's always them doing, heart racing, adrenaline filled activities, jumping out of planes, jumping into planes, like downhill. Like, yeah, some of the stuff Red Bull does, it's insane. And it's to promote their product, but not once do they have a product inside their ads. So Yeah, knowing the difference between like a small scale business and small scale marketing and larger scale marketing is definitely valuable. But yeah, we're at 11 minutes. We can keep chatting a little bit more about this, or we can go on to over under. But I think, yeah, that's a good summation of what's going on with us right now.
Yeah.
Back to school.
Back to school. Oh, the summer is starting to look pretty booked.
The summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
With the
getting there.
weddings
We
and
got to pop out a couple more ads, a couple more
Mhm.
things. There is space for bookings. It's just we got to see how much we want to take on. Because if we book up every single weekend, then I can't go on a trip. We can't go to.
Yeah.
We
I
can't
was worried
go.
about
We
that.
can't go visit Sarah. I miss you, Sarah. We can't go visit Sarah.
Out
She's
in
in England, in
England, yeah.
Manchester.
Yeah.
Manchester, yeah.
That'd be nice to go see her.
Yeah. I was thinking like me, Hannah, you, Jace.
Hmm.
All of us could go boot over there, and then maybe hit like Jace really wants to go to Monaco.
Okay.
So I don't know. See if we can crack something out. See if we have enough
I
cash
want to see
lying
the
around for
Alps
that.
if we're out there.
Switzerland. We'll have to draw up a map of things everyone wants to do and
Yeah.
find time to do it.
If we can manage to kind of
Yeah.
do like a circle around or
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Do a lap around Europe. Yeah, but that's maybe that's a discussion for another podcast. Places we want to travel, wherever we want to go. Yeah. All right, on to our next segment. This segment's called Over Under, where we're gonna name a genre of something. Basically, we're just gonna name something, and we're gonna say if it's overhyped, over underhyped, overrated, underrated, any sort of over under, just to kind of see how we feel about certain things, whether they're in the photography community, whether there's trends, whether it's just like decor. It's like, what do we think of baking soda? Underrated.
underrated.
Baking soda is underrated.
I don't know what it does, but it definitely makes.
Do
You
you-
put it in baking and
Yeah,
it
you
makes
put
some
in
good
vinegar.
sweets.
Yeah, you know, you put you,
Vinegar?
you can. Well, it's baking soda. So you bake with it.
Yeah.
You put it in vinegar and it makes a chemical reaction. But when I was lifeguarding at the pool, we use sodium bicarbonate, aka baking soda, to scrub things.
Oh,
We used it as a cleaner.
really?
Yeah, and so that's why I have really soft hands. You got soft hands, boy. You need some hard hands. You need to get hard. You're just a boy. You got soft hands. Little sissy hand. What am I doing? But people shake my hands and they go, "Damn, you have really soft hands, Tanner." Not right now because I was just in the
Yeah, I was
pool.
gonna-
I was in the
okay.
pool today, but no, people are like, "Tanner, you have really soft hands." I'm like, "Yeah, I used to just scrub the walls with sodium bicarb and they'll soften up your calluses."
Actually, now that you say that, yeah, when I went to go hold your hand, you slipped right out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sodium bicarb, aka baking soda, definitely underrated.
Underrated.
I think everyone needs a little bit more of that. Okay, so on to the actual segment here. Over underrated. Let's talk about street photography. Over or underrated, or overhyped or underhyped in your opinion? Pick one.
Overhyped.
It's overhyped.
Overhyped.
I think it's overhyped too. Why is street photography overhyped?
We kind of talked about it a little bit,
But yeah, not on camera though.
not on camera. I feel like there's a lot of good qualities that come with street photography, but it can easily be manipulated to look good, even if it's a very mid shot.
Do you mean just like popping some contrast and some clarity on it?
Yeah, and then just
Yeah.
doing like an orange and teal look and calling it a day.
It's very easy to get good results in street photography, I think, in my opinion. Now, we don't live in a city where we can just go do street photography, so we don't have as much practice with it. But that's kind of the thing, is that anyone with a camera can go wander around, snap a couple photos of people in their everyday life, and they're like, wow, I got some cool photos. And it's just like, yeah, all right.
See,
It's oversaturated.
when I was doing my studies in Vancouver,
Yeah.
I forced myself to go out every day and do street photography
Mm-hmm.
and take like a minimum of 500 photos on digital and then some film shots in between as well. And I learned a lot from that, mostly from my teacher, my professor, Ian McGuffrey, and taking those photos and just trying to find moments in time that were unique or something that was able to tell a story, whether through the people's expressions or how they were moving or the signs that connected to the people in front. There's this one photo that said, coffee makes you happier. And then in front of that sign was a parent like bending over and just yelling, like had this face like just angry at her kids, and
Kind of
the
like
having that
a
sign in
little
the
bit of
back.
contrast in your
Yeah,
subjects.
creating
Yeah.
creating that contrast. But like this happens in like seconds,
Yeah.
milliseconds. Like you have to be like on top of it,
Yeah.
catching it. And
I feel like
I see a lot of
there's
back of
not
the head shots, and
back of the
that
headshots.
just
Yeah.
like irks me so much because they go, oh, that's the back of the head. That looks cool enough. Cool. Just slap some contrast in the orange and teal and done.
And I think what happens too with street photography, like city, I'm when I say street photography, I'm thinking mainly like downtown street photography, is that there's a ton of cool like light shows around. Like you go, there's like neon signs here, and it's really cool to be able to capture contrast in the street. But at the end of the day, it's just like, cool, you photographed like a cool sign.
Yeah.
If I see another street lamp edit, okay, I do like the hyper edits where they take like 100 street lamps of like street lights and they edit them together.
Because you know they have to manually
Yeah, you have
do
to
it
go
by
through it and do
hand.
it by hand, so there's a little effort there. But I see too many photos of street signs and street lamps
See, and that's what I noticed when I was doing my
and
own personal
traffic
project.
lights.
When I was getting those signs, I'm like, oh, this is a cool shot.
It looks
But
cool
like I
because
keep
it's
doing, I'm like, but this is like the same
yeah,
thing over and over.
yeah,
How can I make this more interesting? That's when I found that coffee sign, and I just sat out there for a few hours, and I'm like, okay, I can make something out of this. And like within
yeah,
the first hour, there was that angry mother. I'm like, this is
yeah.
awesome. That's the contrast. That's what it's relating to. That sign is now just not just a sign. It's now elevated to something
Yeah.
that's a little more meaningful.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just get into street photography because it's the has the lowest barrier to entry and it yields decent results. And so I think it's oversaturated and it's overhyped. I think it's very easy for the public to consume and be like, "Oh my gosh, that's a crazy photo," because it doesn't look realistic per se. It looks super realistic, hyper realistic. I don't know. When you edit something and it doesn't look close to reality, it's always like, "Whoa, that looks so cool and like out of this world." But it's just cranking your clarity to 100. Next genre, sports photography. Overrated, underrated, properly rated.
Let's see. With the shots that I think, oh boy, that's, hold on. What type of sports photography? Like action? Like they're actually doing the sport, not like high volume
Yeah,
or
not
okay.
like high volume,
Okay.
like courtside sports photography.
Overhyped
Overhyped,
slightly.
overrated,
I think
oversaturated.
oversaturated would be a better description of it.
I
Yeah,
think it's
for sure.
pretty oversaturated.
Like it's hard to get like that perfect photo, but it's like really easy to take a bunch of photos.
Yeah, it's easy to get a lot of photos. Like someone will drop a photo dump and they have like 20 photos.
Because
And
we
you're
got like the A9 III now. We can just like 120 frames a second. You never
120
miss a shot.
Yeah. I think sports photography is definitely oversaturated, but that's not like a bad thing.
No, no, people like
No,
sports.
people love sports, and there's so many games that you need so many photographers for. Like if someone asked me to come out to every single basketball game, I would not have enough time in my day. So it's good that there is a lot of photographers, but at the same time, it's very easy to just snap a picture of someone on the court. You get your 50 millimeter 1.8, you get your Canon Rebel, you're set. You're snapping some good photos, all right? But it's the ceiling for sports photography is very, very tight, very low.
Very low, for sure.
Like I haven't seen too many, unless you're going into like the flash photography sports photo stuff, like what they do with the Canucks, where they have flashes in the building. That's where you kind of break the ceiling. But I think it's very easy to get photos.
You mean by posed photos or
No, I mean like
like they have?
there's action shots with flashes. Like if you go to a Canucks game and you see the light popping off, they have
Yeah.
strobes in the building.
I haven't seen that actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. They'll have strobes set up. I was actually thinking about doing that at UFE, setting up some strobes during the game
That'd
to
be
see
pretty
if,
cool.
yeah, just to get some different lighting, just to make my photos stand out a little bit more.
That'd be yeah. Let's talk to the UFE
Yeah.
guys and see if we can set some lights up. That'd be cool.
Yeah. But a majority of the time, I think sports photos, they always come out really flat looking because gyms have pretty flat lighting unless you're shooting a professional
Our gym is really flat.
Our
Where,
gym's
where
really
was
flat.
Sarah shooting? And she got that
Trinity.
Trinity. That was a
Trinity
nice.
Western has a really nice gym to shoot in.
Because that's only the
Um,
court. And all the crowd is just darked
all the
out.
crowd is dark, and any
Beautiful.
arena where all the lighting is focused on the playing surface, like
Yeah.
Bandits, Abbotsford Canucks, Abbotsford or Vancouver Canucks as well, like anything like that, they have good lighting. But at the same time, you don't have to be a crazy good photographer to walk into one of these places and get some good photos.
Yeah.
So oversaturated, overrated.
A slight zoom lens, but
Yeah, a 70 to 200. That's all you. 70 to 200 and something that shoots 10 frames a second. That's really requirements.
and like you don't even need like f2.8. The ability to change photos now in Lightroom to have a
Yeah.
blurry background and get rid of noise completely.
Yeah.
That barrier is pretty much gone now.
Yep, it's just at this point it's people you know and kind of your like if you want to go shoot. Not everyone can go shoot for Bandits, but there's a ton of people who will shoot for Bandits.
Yeah. Which makes it hard because everybody's willing to shoot for free just to get in, but then that brings down everybody else who are getting paid to do it.
That's a whole other conversation. Last one for the segment, then we'll go on to Tech Tuesdays. Product photography, overrated, underrated, properly rated?
I think it's properly rated.
Product photography?
Yeah. Yeah.
You think it's properly rated?
When you're going through product shots, you can tell how much effort is put into it by the results that's shown.
I think you don't know how much effort goes into it unless you've tried to do it yourself.
There's a bit of that too, yeah. Yeah, for
And
sure.
a lot of people don't want to get into product because it's not basketball.
Yeah.
It's not, product photography is almost,
See, like
almost. If you don't know
Almost.
what you're doing, it can be very boring because you don't have that creative mindset. But
like I didn't think I would like I don't like products. I'm not a product kind of guy. But what got me into it was the ability to light it separately from any other product.
I think
It's that challenge of
yeah.
lighting this product.
I think the skill ceiling for product photography is like way up there.
Really high, yeah.
Like if you have, obviously you need more equipment, and the barrier to entry is pretty high too. You need to have flashes or strobes. You need to have soft boxes. You need to have accent lights. You need to have like polarizers. There's a ton of equipment you need to do it.
Not for product photography. For sure for product videography.
Well, you need to have some sort of flash knowledge, and that for good product
For
photography.
flash knowledge? Yeah,
Because
technically.
anyone,
but, yeah.
okay, anyone can grab a beer and take it down to the lake and snap a couple of cool photos.
Yeah.
And that's some lifestyle, that's some product.
But
like
that's getting into natural light product photography.
natural, like yeah, that's on the low end. But like
Yeah.
you step into a studio and you hand someone 3 lights and say go crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I handed you these 2 lights and that table over there, I did that the other night. I said go crazy, and
Yeah.
you were jumping for joy. You're like yippee! That was you.
I know,
I
that
sent a
was so
video
much
to my
fun.
mom, and she was like, "Why is he so happy?" I'm like, "Well, I let him do his thing." Yeah, right. Like, go crazy with it. You're gonna get
That flare on the lens though was
Yeah,
so
exactly, like-
nice. Yeah.
I think product photography is underrated because I don't think enough photographers in the community give it enough credit.
Yeah.
I don't think they realize, because no one's really tried the indoor thing, because no one has access to studio space, this, that, and the other thing. No one knows how much effort goes into creating these photos. Like your watch photo from when you were studying, how many focus stacks is that?
Oh geez, which one?
The watch, the black and white one, where you use the yellow bounce pad or whatever.
Yellow bounce pad. Yellow bounce pad. I have like 3 really good
The one
watch
the
photos.
one that's your background.
Oh, the one in the water? In the water?
No,
No?
I think you had it as your background on your. Anyways.
Here, I can pull it up real quick. I
Okay.
can cut out this time. Was it that
Yeah,
one?
it was this one. Oh, this is the water one.
Yeah, that's the water one.
It was this one I was thinking of.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. Cause to take that photo, like you did this in your house and you made some YouTube videos on it, and that is like, there are not a lot of people in our community that you can give them as a reference and they could go and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this just took me about
They can't even tell
4
you how
hours.
you did it. Yeah, that one photo took 4 hours. Like
That probably took about close to like 15 photo
yeah,
stacks.
15 image stacked on top of each other just to
Yeah.
get a super crisp depth of field.
And I think I just used one light for it actually.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
still, even knowing how to use a light and a bounce or a light and a negative fill, that a lot of people don't know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people who are into sports photography or into street photography, they don't know how to use the lighting themselves. Versus if you're in product photography, you know how to completely control.
But I think that's where the creativity comes in, because like I could probably do similar results with just a phone light.
Yeah, but that's because you know how to use light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess
You have. Yeah,
that's
you
why I
have.
think it's properly rated. Or I guess maybe that's why it could also be underrated.
I think it's underrated because people don't understand how much goes into it. Like people, like someone could look at that and be like, "Oh, it's a picture of a watch," and just like that would get less likes than a street photo.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
No, I noticed that.
even
Yeah.
though it's a better photo, like technically from the technical aspect, you have more skill. It's a higher skilled photo. You're gonna get less likes.
What I was going for was like legacy, like something that can be left behind, and it still just be a good photo
Mm-hmm.
from any angle. Like it
Yeah.
shows the whole product.
Yeah,
It
and
highlights it.
even
And
the
just,
other watch one, the watch one's a good one too. Like
This
what
one?
went into, like
the water drop. Yeah, I used a fish tank for that one.
yeah, exactly.
A fish tank, and then I used a little tissue to hold the watch in the right place, and I used a napkin to get the proper gradient on the front of the front of the watch. I had to
Is
get
that
the right.
to not get that hard light?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I wanted it to not just be all clear. I wanted to show there was
Yeah, see,
glass.
those are little tips and tricks that I think a lot of other genres of photography don't encapsulate, and I
Yeah.
think that's pretty solid. All right, yeah, product photography, I'd say underrated.
I think properly rated still, because the people who can't do it, and people who can.
But they don't appreciate it either.
I think people know if it's a good photo or not, and they just can't do it. Then they can't
Yeah.
do it.
Fair enough. All right, on to our next segment. We're at 31 minutes, a little over today. That's okay. Tech Tuesdays. You are on Tech Tuesday this week, so I'll let you take it away from here.
I am. Okay, hold on. My little thing we got here. We got the Godot tube light. There we go. Let's see, is that in frame? Yeah, you can see that in frame. Perfect. I'm gonna spark. There's the power. Ready? Nice. Oh, we got green on here from our UFV shoot.
UFV and
Yeah,
MSS.
and
Yeah.
MSS.
Some good sports photography right there.
Am I gonna throw that in? I'm gonna throw that in. That the video from UFV.
Oh yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Here's some samples from what we use these tube lights for.
Okay.
I'll give you some footage. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So why did you bring this to our Tech Tuesday? What's so special about this?
This, well, here we're turn that off for just a moment. Not only is it a tube and it looks like a lightsaber, and you can have some cool lightsaber battles.
There's some photos from this year that people were duking it out with the
Really?
red and blue ones. Yeah, some
Nice.
women's volleyball were Alicia and Emily. Amanda's her older sister, and I
Okay.
just saw her at New Year's. That's
Yeah.
why. Alicia and Emily, where they were fighting it out with lightsabers at their photo shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So why do you bring this?
I want to see that photo now.
Yeah, why did you bring this on?
Why did I bring it on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we use these, and I like using these.
Mm.
The ability to put these anywhere is really nice.
Yeah,
Put it up
they're-
onto the ceiling, or yeah, it's actually
Those
lights
we have
right
two
over
more
here.
back there, and that's what's illuminating our corner.
It's too far. I don't have long arms like
I
that.
have it. They have them leaned up against each other. I don't want to
Okay.
touch it. Actually, I'm kidding. That's just
There you
what's in this corner. They're warm right now. But that, yeah, we got
Oh wow.
two of these bad boys just kind of popping out the corner
Wait,
to give us some cool lighting.
that. Okay.
Give us some specs. Give us some details. How much are they?
How much are they? Well, these range for Kelvin, if you guys are familiar with that, 2700 to 6700 Kelvin, which is a pretty decent range. Actually, that's a phenomenal range. That's more than what you need, especially because this also has RGB. You can change the color, and actually, I took a little look at it. The RGB mode, it has a 96 out of 98% color accuracy on the test,
Yep.
which is really really good. Some of the other
A
like
lot of
little
lights.
lights we have
They're
are
not.
they're
They're so bad.
especially in the red color
Yeah.
spectrum. They just can't hit red for
Yep.
some reason. But this, I haven't noticed anything bad about the red colors.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
so
reds are red.
reds are red.
I find
red.
the reds on some of the smaller lights. The reds are orange.
Yeah, I find them to turn orange. There's like one section where it's like red. You bump it up just one notch, up or down, and it's orange. It
Yep.
just there's no in between.
Yeah.
Um,
So, well, yeah. What else you got for us about this?
Yeah, they're also doing some more little research on it. This has 32 channels and 6 groups, which means you can basically do a whole shoot strictly on these. Like you can have like a whole wall.
What does 32 channels mean? And 6 groups.
6 groups.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have it in one whole group, and that group can be controlled from, well, I guess from your phone. You can control these from your phone.
And I think they came with a remote too.
It's
there's a
over there
remote in the bag.
In the bag, yeah.
So yeah, you have 32 different setup options if you were to have 32 of these. We wouldn't. We have 4.
No, we have 4, but
Yeah.
but you could just run a whole shoot. Like you can put them in, if you're in an industrial area, you can put them up in the
Rafters
up top. You can put some down below to highlight things. You can put them in between.
There was something, I think it was maybe like the VMAs or something, but they had an entire set where they just laid out our runway of tube lights, and I'm like, oh, those are tube lights. I don't know if they were specifically the Godox ones.
Yeah.
But they were tube lights. Maybe they were. I think the Nanlite has like 6-foot versions.
They got a lot of versions.
Nanlite's got some gnarly stuff. Stay away from me, Nanlite. You're gonna hurt my bank account.
The other thing that this does is it has presets. So one thing for us, we do short films, and if we want a little bit of storytelling or indirect storytelling, we can put these in the background. Say it's like a rainy day, or there's supposed to be like thunder in the background. There's a mode for that.
Show us.
Yeah, let's see. Let's take where's the power button? There we are. Okay, mod. Here we go. It's on TV. There, thunder. Bam, bam. So if we have it out to the side, pretend it's like a window. You can imagine there's thunder. Put some sound effects over top of it. Rainy day, moody.
That hurts my eyes.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off. It's starting to. There's other modes like party, candle, fireworks, police. You can tell a bunch of different stories on that.
Yeah,
and it's unlimited. You can do lots with it.
Bunch of built-in features. That's really good. The police one's obviously the most fun. When you just hold it above someone's windshield and it looks like you got pulled over.
You can even actually probably just put it on a car itself.
I don't think you're allowed to do that. I don't think that's illegal.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I would never do that. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Woo!
Hold on. You just have it in the sides and ready to.
Can you? Wait,
oh yeah, here. Where's the? Here you go.
Down here. Where did? Which one's the?
Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a red and blue side. That definitely.
Yeah, this will get you pulled over for sure for imitating a first responder.
But if you
just reach up into your like dash and just click it on. Wee woo wee woo.
If it's in the back side of like mission or something, and doing
that's how you get
video in the forest, then
that's how you get shot. Are those level 3 plates?
Level 3 plates.
Is that legal? Are those level 3 plates?
It's time to
Time to go. Yeah. Yeah. How much is that? How much is something like that gonna set you back?
For 4 or just for 1? I found 1.
How much
for
is
individual one? Is $240.
That's US? So that's like 500
US. Yeah.
240. Like that's 400.
Here, let me check on Amazon.
380.
I'm pulling up Amazon.
You're pulling up Amazon. Okay.
And yes. Let's see. Yeah, 304.
304. Wow, I was way off. And so yeah, you can get one. You can get one for around 300, and a pack of 2 is like 600, and then a pack of 4 is like 1,200. That makes sense. Yeah. So we actually didn't buy these. Michael gave them to me, lent them to me. Shout out Michael. Michael's lent me a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Too bad we have to give back the Black Magics.
Yeah. You didn't even get to use them. You didn't get to use them. I don't like the Black Magics, honestly. That's a different conversation.
Well, yeah, we'll get into another episode.
But the only thing I don't love about the tubes is the lack of mounting options. We literally just have to clamp it to to like a stand, and it doesn't look very pretty. And they're not magnetic, which is fine. I know they're the budget ones, but it's whatever. Anything else to say about the tubes?
Tube lights?
Yeah.
No, I think that's That's kind of the gist of it. I'm wanting to do another video where we use it more and get some behind the scenes and put that
Yeah,
into a
that's what
video.
else is going to be nice is having an extra camera.
Hmm.
Now that we have the A7 IVs, we have kind of a BTS camera.
Yeah,
Because if we both happen to be on the same job site, we're probably gonna have the two cameras
yeah,
and then a BTS camera, which is gonna be good.
yeah.
So instead of just having everything locked up, and we bought another lens.
Hmm.
I need to buy some more lenses.
And if we're doing more weddings, maybe more cameras. That's a different topic, though.
I didn't hear what you said. I don't want to. La, 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 la. All right, on to our next segment. So this part of the podcast we call Feature Fridays. I'm calling Feature Fridays. I don't have anything else. I think it's very adequate. I also like alliterations because we're gonna post this on Friday, this segment to the Instagram on Friday, but we're gonna post the whole podcast. I don't know. Eventually, when we finish it.
But all on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll put it all on YouTube. So,
Oh, little quick note on that. Are we gonna put the podcast on Spotify? No.
I don't want to have to deal with Spotify accounts.
Is
I also don't
that
think
difficult?
I also don't think anyone would listen to it on Spotify.
Well, if anybody's like driving,
Bored, yeah.
yeah,
You get to
like,
listen to Tanner and CJ
so
yap for a
bored that
bit.
they need to listen to our.
Maybe we'll see. Hey, if we hit 20 episodes, because that's the big thing. All podcasts fail before 20 episodes or whatever. If we can hit 20 episodes, sure, I'll put it on Spotify.
All right.
Okay, next segment, Feature Friday, is basically this is just time to kind of show off someone or something that we think, this is mostly people, that we think are doing an outstanding job, people in the community that we think deserve a little bit more recognition or we want to recognize for what they do, things that we like about them, kind of maybe they're doing something unique, maybe they have a way of doing things that I'm a big fan of or you're a big fan of, whatever it is. So CK did Tech Tuesday this week, so I'm going to do Feature Friday, and this week I actually have a book of his that he made. This is my Christmas present to myself. I also got you a copy. This is 4 Days in Seoul by Amir. I can't say, I'm not going to butcher his last name. It's just Amir Yu. Amir is a street photographer. I know we just spent like 5 minutes bashing street photography, but he is someone who does it very well and someone who makes very enjoyable images for street photography. So he released a book. It's called 4 Days in Seoul. He did a little trip over to Seoul, Korea this summer, and he made a book. There's a lot of pages in this book. I'm a big fan of printing your work. I think everyone should print their work. If you're a photographer and you don't print your work, you're missing out.
Before you get too much into that, how did you find or meet Amir?
Oh, I was actually going to get into that. I was going to talk about printing and stuff like that. But no, I met Amir online through a Discord group that started during COVID. It's called Streets of Van City. So it was for a lot of photographers in the Vancouver area to meet and kind of network with each other, kind of critique each other's stuff, kind of pick up some tips from older photographers, a ton of stuff like that. But I met Amir there, and it was during COVID, during lockdown, so we were spending a lot of time online. We'd hop in group chats, we'd hop on calls. There's a ton of people I met in there. It's a little harder to stay in touch with them because they're out in Vancouver and we're out in the valley. For reference, they're about an hour and a half away from us, which is pretty far. It's hard to meet up with them, but when Amir's selling me books, I go and I make it work. I met Amir and I loved his work. I think he had a really unique perspective on things. Very quiet guy. He kind of is, like we said, the good aspects of street photography is just kind of sit back, watch, observe, kind of be invisible and then capture a moment. And I think he does that very well. And his work is very particular. It captures like the things we said earlier, not just in this book, but his work in general.
I like his use of scale, where he's able to have people against really large buildings in this, and his choice of colors when he's shooting is very different than editing and getting rid of the colors. It's the colors that he chooses to be in frame that I really enjoyed about this book.
Yeah, this book particularly, but all of his work has a very good look to it. Has a very natural feel, but also a little bit of a grungy feel. He likes his darker tones. He sometimes mixes sci-fi into his edits, so I know he has some, I think it's Blade Runner type edits. He edited the no longer Sears Tower. What's the revolving tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. He edited that with some of the floating spaceships from Blade Runner.
Oh, really?
He has some Blade Runner inspired photos from when all the
Let me take a look at
when
this.
all the fog was in, or it wasn't fog, it was the smoke from the fires. He was
Yeah.
out taking photos, and he was kind of just creating things that felt like they're out of a movie. Amir, his work feels, now not to overplay the word, it feels like it's something straight out of a movie, and it's very cinematic. It's almost like romanticizing real life. It's very, very enjoyable to look at if you're scrolling through his Instagram right now.
Let
But
me take a look. Yeah.
Amir.u is his Instagram. I think there might be some underscores in there. Yeah, he has some really interesting work. And this is the first book I think he made. Oh, look, there's a self-portrait in here. Yeah, no, he's an awesome dude. He's a super genuine guy. Loves photography, but it's not like his full-time thing. And he gets a lot of recognition for his work from his fellow photographers and stuff, but I think he always could get a little bit more. And I've asked him to print stuff for me. I'm like, oh, do you like sell your work? He's like, no, not really. I'm like, can you print me a photo? I want to hang it on my wall. So upstairs in one of my rooms, in my old bedroom, I have a street photograph of someone walking along the train tracks. And now I have a book of Amir's photos. Yeah, I worked with him a little bit. Obviously it's hard to work with someone who's so far away, but yeah, just watching him operate, he's very humble. He's a very good photographer. He's very humble. Yeah, it's very, would I use the word peaceful to describe his work? It doesn't
Yeah,
feel cluttered.
It's not fast paced.
It doesn't feel cluttered.
Yeah.
He makes city scenes feel like very peaceful. I think that's something that's very hard to do. Just looking through this book here, composition, the colors, very natural look. He doesn't push anything too far. Yeah, I want to go to Seoul now. Thanks for that, Amir. No, awesome dude. I think he deserves some more recognition and to sell more books and to sell more prints. I'm very curious as to how many books he sold. I don't think he would tell me, but yeah,
No.
that's cool. But it definitely is inspiring me to do like my own photo book. Actually, over dinner, my mom was saying that, oh, we need to print some stuff for downstairs to
Oh,
put
really?
up on the walls. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't even bring it up. She just said,
Cool.
oh, I'm like, okay, cool. CK was just talking about that. We should get some stuff printed. So
I want to grab some of our favorite shots and
yeah,
print them as big as she will let us.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So definitely making our work print worthy, I think is what we're gonna.
Well, I think there's a lot of shots that are definitely print worthy, but making them
Making a
is gonna be
collection of photos.
yeah, a collection where they can be side by side.
Yeah, that's the hard thing.
Yeah.
That's something he does very well. Is Amir makes collections of photos. So he'll post a gallery onto Instagram, and you can swipe through, and they all feel like they belong together. They feel like his photos feel like they're siblings because they visually look the same. The colors, the tones, the style looks the same in the gallery, but each one has a different scene.
Mm-hmm.
And something that I know a lot of people don't do because it's not like part of the algorithm. Amir writes really long captions.
Yeah, that's hard to do. Yeah,
He
I
will
noticed that.
he will take a bunch of photos and then tie them together with a story that he just made up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know it's very like stereotypical to be like, "Oh, I'm a photographer, I'm a storyteller because I capture." No, he will make up a story to go with his photos, and then like, yeah, I just like I'll be up in the morning, I'll be scrolling, I'm like, Amir posted, here's a short story that he wrote. I love short stories. Like Stephen King with his books of short stories. I love reading through those, like 3 or 4 pages. I'll read like a 10-page short story. Amir pops a short story on my page. I'm there for the next 5 minutes reading through it. It's awesome.
That was actually one of my New Year's resolutions was to be more creative, write more poetry, and write more short stories.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even like he doesn't just recap what his photos. Sometimes he does, where he's just like, "This is what this photo is about. This is how the scene played out." Mm-hmm. But sometimes he tells it in first person.
Yeah.
Sometimes he tells it in third person. He has a different way of kind of just showing off of his work, And I can see, like, even in this book, I just saw it. There is someone right here. There's a photo. I'm going to take a picture of this and add it to the video after. It's a photo of a blank wall,
Yeah.
2 people in a cafe, and the girl in the cafe is staring at him. And he added the text underneath, and there's a conversation between 2 people. What are you looking at? Do you see the boy with the camera? 2 sentences. Short story. Now you get this conversation. It's, I don't know. It's something that I don't see a lot, and I very much appreciate.
Yeah, adding stories and not just relying on just a photo to do it.
He's
is
made
nice.
he's made the people he's photographed into characters
Yeah.
in his own story. He's not trying to, yeah. He's just making them characters in his story that he's telling, which
the,
I
the
think.
humbleness coming out again, where it's like you should know what the story is. It's, hey, I'll tell you a bit about it. I'll tell
Yeah.
you what I think it is.
Yeah, and a lot of artists are like, oh, it's open for interpretation, and he's just like, here's a short story to go with it. Take it as you will. It's beautiful. I love it.
He had another bit in there where he wrote down a bit about himself, and I felt like I got to know Amir
Know
a bit
him
better.
a bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, and see if we can find that. Yeah, there it
Is it this one?
Yeah.
That's a lot. I can't read that all. I'll read the last paragraph here. Sorry I brought you to this Italian restaurant. I feel like I'm failing you by bringing you to a place filled with, I can't say the word, anjumas?
Jumas.
Ajumas?
I think so, yeah.
He took a bite of her pizza and mumbled, no, this is great. If the ajumas are here, I bet it's a good spot. And maybe ajumas is like a slang
Yeah.
for a type of person. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I'm not sure if that was like people or
Yeah.
siblings or I don't know.
I guess what I like about Amir is he doesn't just take photos. He kind of writes scripts and narrates stories. Like I just read a small paragraph about 2 people having a conversation about Italian pizza in Korea.
Yeah.
And they're going back and forth. Oh, light died. And it's like, sorry for bringing you to an Italian place. He's like munching on pizza. Doesn't matter. Good pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's all we have for today. We originally aimed to do 30 minutes. We did 51 minutes.
All right.
All right. So we definitely got to cut the yapping down.
Well, let's leave it to the people.
We'll leave it
Keep
to the
more
people.
yapping or less yapping.
You got to edit all this. But yeah, what we're going to do is we are going to take suggestions for podcast names now. So I'll probably pop a story up once we get these videos edited and posted to the Instagram. I'll put a story up and I'll have a box for suggestions. And then from those suggestions, we'll pick 4 that we liked and we'll do a poll.
Yeah.
And then from there, we'll maybe finalize a name for this podcast. Yeah, this is going to be lots of fun. There's going to be a lot more of these we film these on Sundays and we release them throughout the week. So
yeah,
this will be very fun. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next one. It's been Tanner and CK for Valley Films.
everyone does.
See you.